You all asked me what the meaning of life is. The meaning of life is moving to... No, not her. What's up, my Nimrods? It's Gage coming back at you guys again with another video today. I am truly 1000% thankful that you guys would spend a couple minutes with me here today to talk about a children's card game we both mutually enjoy so fucking much. So with the end of the year right around the corner, literally tonight, I figured I'd round up the year with one of my favorite series, and that's Overhyped History, the series where I'd like to take a trip back into the time machine and take a look at a card that was overhyped to the point where people thought it was absolutely going to change the game, but in reality, the card flopped and did absolutely fucking nothing. And what better way to close out 2017 than to talk about the undisputed most overhyped card of 2017. This shouldn't come as a surprise to a lot of you. Throughout the entire year of 2017, we've had a lot of cards that were released to the game that absolutely changed the game. Super powerful game-breaking cards. Cards like Zodiac Barrage, Zodiac Trident, Dragonic Diagram, Masterpiece. These are all cards that are very, very powerful that have changed the game. But one would definitely stood above them all as the one talked about most in the community, and also, surprisingly, talked the most about Konami themselves. This is a card that even before the release of the set, Konami had hinted that it was going to be the strongest card in the game, the strongest card of 2017. That monster is none other than the infamous Sea Monster of Theseus. Released in Raging Tempest as a secret rare, Sea Monster of Theseus had a lot of buzz around it, mostly because of it being a TCG exclusive, and Konami had hinted at the fact that it was going to be the strongest card of 2017, even without having an effect. Sea Monster of Theseus is a level 5 zombie fusion tuner monster that requires 2 tuners, has 2200 attack or some amount of defense, but all of that is pretty much irrelevant because this card is absolute garbage. Something that Konami has been doing a lot more recently and that they enjoy doing, hopefully they enjoy doing, is leaking cards before the release of the set. This is normally a really good way for players to be able to see rarities of cards that are imported from the OCG, so we can really get a gauge on how these cards are going to be priced when they come here into the TCG. Cards that have been leaked before are cards like Zodiac Broadbull, Zodiac Trident, really Zodiac Barrage. That's the most recent ones I can think of. It happens a lot, and even actually all the new Link monsters to be released in the Extreme Force. Most of them have been leaked. As we know, the Rare Metal Foes dude is a secret rare. This is a great way for people to really find out rarities, as we're already, for the most part, really familiar with the cards because they get announced in the OCG long before we get them announced here in the TCG. But as for having TCG exclusives talked about over here, we normally don't really have articles covering that, since we don't get to see them until they are actually officially announced here. Sea Monster of Theseus was a very interesting leak. In an article prior to the one that announced actually Sea Monster Theseus officially, they mentioned that they were going to announce the strongest card of 2017, and it was not going to have an effect, and this kind of threw people for a loop. What exactly could it do? A lot of people, including myself, came to the conclusion that possibly the card would be a pendulum monster and not actually have a pendulum effect, or a monster effect even, but it would have an extremely powerful pendulum effect. Therefore, it still could actually fit under the category, work its way through a loophole in the announcement. Something clever, but I don't think really Konami's that clever. And while we didn't get something like that, we got a monster that actually literally has no effect. It is a level 5 fusion tuner monster. What is so good about this? This card was announced at a time where we still actually had Elder Entity Norden here in the TCG, the undisputed king of instant fusion. Elder Entity Norden actually put itself on the forbidden list just because it was an insane target to pull off of instant fusion, being able to make and rank 4 rather immediately. Also played with fusion substitute back in Zodiac format, something that the TCG was able to toy with because Norden was actually not legal in the OCG. We in the TCG here were able to mess with Lunalight Black Sleep to get Fusion Substitute, and the target of choice was to make Norden with that. Norden was just as powerful here in the TCG than it was at the OCG, and it actually rightfully so got its place on the forbidden list here in the TCG not long after that of the OCG. So with Elder Entity Norden on its way out, people were looking for a new fusion monster to take the place of Elder Entity Norden, and the one that Konami presented us with was Sea Monster of Theseus. What a fucking joke. This card, while it does have some neat interactions, it is definitely not the most powerful card of 2017. Far below it, if you will. For example, one of the interactions that Konami actually said in their article talking about Sea Monster of Theseus is that you were able to use it plus another level 5 monster to make ULTIMAYA TZOLKIN. When's the last time you've seen somebody play ULTIMAYA TZOLKIN? Well, that's because we're in Link form right now, and now ULTIMAYA TZOLKIN is literally a garbage card that is completely unusable because Links are now a thing. But back in the day, we didn't actually have Link zones when this card was released. So you could use it with another level 5 monster that wasn't a tuner to make TZOLKIN. That's pretty neat. The problem with that is that there was already a way better way to do that, and it was actually done in Metal Foes at the time, where people would play, Blackwing Gofu, which is now at 1, and they would also play the Metal Foe Adamant, which was the level 5 fusion that requires 2 normal monsters, which is pretty much just any of your Metal Foe arsenal. This was leagues better than Sea Monster of Theseus, not only for the fact that you didn't have to pay 1,000 life points to summon this thing, but you also got 2 tokens when you would summon Gofu, which you would just then pop with your Metal Foes to be able to get searches off. Way more powerful than Sea Monster of Theseus would have ever been. Blackwing Gofu is also just a tuner, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, so scratch that interaction off. That's not too great. Another one that they tried to push was Sea Monster of Theseus, worth a level 4 monster, makes Vermilion Dragon Mech. That's another TCG exclusive we got that did absolutely nothing. Not necessarily overhyped, but just not a great level 9, excuse me. With Trishula on its way in, a lot of people would try to find ways to summon Trishula over any other generic level 9. It just wasn't as good as Trishula, never will be. However, I think the most interesting use of Sea Monster of Theseus was actually one that was used in Zodiac. A very niche use in Zodiac, a very, I don't know, not great use in Zodiac, but it was a use. Oh my god, I have to shit so bad.
Go. Oh my god. Shit. Babe, you're gonna edit this and hear this? I could hear you pooping in there.
Yeah, I was really stressed. It was really big poop. Zodiac was able to make a very niche use of Sea Monster of Theseus, and they were able to actually summon X-Sabergottoms with any Zodiac monster of their choice. X-Sabergottoms was very nice in Zodiac because you would actually be able to sack off your MX Saber Invoker, which is normally one of your starter plays, to be able to pull out a Rat Peer from the deck. It was a very niche use. It wasn't actually very good even, but hey, it was a use. Outside of that, the only other point of discussion for this card was the fact that it was a zombie. So it could actually be used in one of the decks people were toying with at the time, which was Lightsworn Zombies. But the thing is, it fell completely short in that deck as well, because it was a level 5 monster. And that just didn't work with the deck. Level 5 was extremely awkward because Unizombie was easily the best card in that deck. And what Unizombie is, it's a level 3 tuner monster that dumps a zombie from your deck to the graveyard. When you dump a zombie, you have to actually bump its level up by 1. That's part of its effect. So it becomes a level 4. It's a tuner too, so you can't really use that with Sea Monster of Theseus anyways. Unizombie was by far the most powerful tuner in that deck, and it was always the go-to. You actually really didn't even need another tuner, much less a level 5 one at that. There really just wasn't a use for Sea Monster of Theseus, much less one that actually would make it the best card of 2017. A lot of players actually quickly realized this. This card was not expensive upon release. It was not even talked about or tried as much on release as people expected. It was purely and definitely only overhyped by Konami themselves. I guess that really shows how much they know about their own game. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Sea Monster of Theseus. Do you think it was the best card of 2017? If you do think that way, that's okay, but you're wrong. But let me know what you guys think of it. Do you guys think it could be potentially the best card of 2018? Maybe it just hasn't had its time to shine yet. We'll find out.
That's all, folks.
If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, however and especially you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I do upload regularly, and I feel pretty good about it. The new year's right around the corner. Thank you guys for tuning in for another year of smashingly good Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'll be sure to be bringing it again next year, hopefully much more consistently than the prior year. That being said, if you're driving anywhere, be safe tonight and don't do anything too stupid, like printing a level 5 tuner monster with no effect and then claiming it's the best card of 2017. don't do that. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim Nim signing out.